Hello, good evening. This is our first channeling, webinar workshop. So, way we're going to go about this, I'll go into my methods, and then the others here will follow, give you information. You can go to the website, Ivan Teller, and if you're a member, you can log in and join if there's enough room. Right now, we're pretty full. So, but everyone's welcome, and those that have their question, if they feel that they don't need to be here, so you allow others to join also would be good. So to begin, for my method of usually I do like 2 or 3 shields around myself before I ground. Connecting more to the Prime Creator recently, so he's a great help with that. Archangel Michael is always here to clear out the space also throughout the day. But during the channelings, usually I visualize a few shields around myself. That way I'm not taking on anyone's energy. The way I ground is I use a white light around my root chakra, and it just goes down into the center of the earth. You're walking into the center of the earth's core, and then I surround it around the earth itself, and I go up. I come back and go through all my chakras. And go through each chakra with light. Okay. Sorry, people are getting in. So, yeah, go through each chakra, surround myself with. Each chakra gets light, and I surround myself with white light, and I do a blessing. So, yeah, this is why it takes some time. So, sometimes I get stuck in certain areas. And then I do a blessing, and it takes a minute for. Usually the Prime Creator is around during that. He's around through the whole process, but I can feel more. The more you do a blessing, you bless the world, bless people, that they get a positive message. And most importantly, which I never knew about, you allow the entity to enter without your interference. That's a major one. And that is part of the blessing process. And in the beginning, I visualized a meadow, and you can see an entity in front of you. And imagine if you see a bunch of grays in front of you, but you can see many entities wishing to come through. So yeah, when you're first starting out and you see a gray standing there, that's not always for everybody, but that was one of the ones that worked for me. But usually you can see what they look like depending, not always, but usually they are humanoid for the most part. I don't see a meadow anymore. Well, one method is you see a meadow, you go into, like you leave your body, you go into this what is it? The waterfall. You go up like you're leaving your body, and you allow the entity, so you're allowed to channel through me. That's one way to do it. The way I do it now is after I do my prayer, I send positive messages to everyone, and I just basically see the entity right next to me, surrounded by white light, depending if I know who it is. If I don't know who it is, I surround a white light. If I know who it is, usually it's already positive, and it just enters through me however it works for them. Through the root chakra, they've been recently standing in front of me and just entering this way. So they all have different methods. Some come from the top, some come through the back. They all have different methods. So one thing definitely is ego. Many of that channel, they say, I channel all these beings, I'm so special. That's not really what this is about. So when you have ego and you think you're better than other channelers, that's where you discount yourself from healing others and yourself, because you're putting yourself in front of ahead of the message. It's not about you. It's about others connecting, becoming more spiritual, allowing themselves to become healers, or maybe not channelers, but whatever that works for them. And the more you put yourself there, like, oh, I can do this and that, and then you're really not doing yourself any service at all, or anybody else for that matter, because you're putting yourself almost in a negative in many ways, because you're not going to really progress really that far. If you go for money, I think of that also. If you put money in front of all this, it doesn't help you either, because it's a business, and I mean, the channeling, yes, you have to feed yourself if you're going to go into it, but still you have to feel like what you need will be provided for you, and not to worry about it. So it's always, the message is not going to be always for everyone, for certain individuals. So it is weird when you first do it, because when I channeled my spirit guide the first time, I tried to channel an angel. That didn't work. I channeled my spirit guide the first time, and then after that I channeled a gray, and it's been weird ever since. So but now I'm trying to channel more angelic beings. But yeah, I'm more of the alien, because connecting to this earth is not easy for anybody, and it's easier to connect with aliens sometimes because you just so anyway. But connecting to the angelic realm, channeling, connecting to the angelic realms to the prime creator is definitely very helpful. And that's right, I forgot about the blessing from the prime creator. He's been kind of stepping back right now. I forgot about that. I guess we can allow that to come through to a second. Yeah, we were supposed to do that before we even started, but that's okay. Alright, well, I said that. We'll do, let's do it. And that's another thing. Usually I don't have to do anything to channel these beings. I can just say, open the door and come on in. But I try not to do that. It's better to ground and go through all that go through all those steps. But technically I don't do anything. I can just say, you want to channel through me? Come on. I mean, they channel through me anyway, usually, depending on who's around. So they get very aggressive. But as for the prime creator, has been around me a lot recently. So, a moment. Yeah, we'll do a blessing with the prime creator. And then, Neil and Dave, if you want to go, sorry. As you go through this process, go slowly with it. Do not waste your time by rushing it. Go with your instincts, with your prayer. Allow your body to adjust to this new beginning within your soul. The angels are always there as brothers and sisters. The sister angels are always there, but never mentioned, are they? They assist you with your connections. Allow the angel energies to surround you with light, with love and acceptance, not worrying of what others might say. The more clear your mind is, the easier it will for the message to come through. The more you allow yourself to step back, easier it will to connect and heal yourself, but most importantly heal others, because you are already in a healing state as it is. But those that are listening that are not quite there yet, your words are assisting them to get a little closer to themselves, who they truly want to be in this reality. Many here in this world are not fully who they want to be. They feel money is a necessity, but actually spirit is a necessity. Connecting to your oversoul, to your higher selves, to the angelic realms is truly what all of you should be ascending for, pushing for, reaching out to connect to God and your loved ones in spirit. Light to you all, love to you all, but also understanding of who you are, that you are pure light, and as you speak, you're speaking through light. Your soul will heal. You will find yourself floating in the air, connected to all things. Much blessings to you all. I am the Prime Creator. A little message from me to you. Blessings. Okay. All right. Yeah, Neil, if you want to go through, or Day, or if you want to do a blessing, whatever you like to do.
I can go next.
Okay.
So the way that I go about it, gosh, where do I start? I actually learned from Ivan and Neil a lot of the techniques that I use now. I start by asking God for a blessing. I ask for God to put me in his bubble of light. I imagine a golden bubble of light. And also I do ask Archangel Michael. And I also ask God to help me get the message out in the purest way possible. I do not wish to interfere. Only positive messages come through me. So I do all that, and he gives me his blessing. And when I do this bubble of light, I imagine not just myself, but my entire building to be under this bubble of light. And then I do my grounding. My grounding is a little bit different from Neil and Ivan and probably most. I do mine in water. I'm just a water person. I love water, so I imagine myself diving into the sea, going all the way to the bottom, and then I kind of plant myself into the sea, and I picture myself as a coral just looking up, and I can just look at what I see, either the sun or the moon, depending on the time of day. So that's how I do my grounding. And then usually the entities are at this point waiting to come through, and I hear them. I do feel them, but I hear them more. So they're just telling me who they are, you know, their names. And the way that I invite them into my heart is I just, you know, if they tell me their name, I'll say, so-and-so, I love you, please come into my heart space. And this is, I try to invite them in the most loving way so that the message reflects my intentions. So that's pretty much how I channel. I do want to say it's important to, for me at least, diet is important. I try to eat a lot of greens. I do smoothies. That is very helpful for your solar plexus as well. It's where a lot of your confidence comes from. And that is important for channeling because you want to be confident of the information that's coming through. You don't want to doubt anything, otherwise you're interfering with the message or the information that's coming through. I stay away from drugs and alcohol. It's just my choice. I find it better to connect that way when I stay away from that. I hydrate, I drink a lot of water, always have water near me. But to each his own, everybody does it differently. I'm not knocking anyone who does it any differently, but that I found is what works best for me. I don't know if I have anything else to add. I'm going to just let Neil go, and I'll pop in if I have anything else to add. Or if anybody has questions at this point, you guys can ask either Ivan or me, or wait till Neil is done.
Okay, thanks, Ade. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is, right, once we've finished doing the talking and answering the questions, what I'll do is everybody can go through a guided meditation that I'll do. So I'll take you all through the guided meditation, and then at the end of the meditation you'll connect with a being. And when you connect with this being, what we're going to do is everybody's going to be on mute, and I'm going to ask questions, and the question will be directed for everybody. So just when it happens, just imagine that I'm doing it to you alone, and you can answer the questions as I ask them out loud. Now, obviously, we're not going to hear them because you're on mute. So what will happen is you'll get the recording on your phone. So what I need everybody to do, everybody needs to download a voice recorder on their phone. Now there's a free one, right? And this is the one that I use sometimes, right? So if you go into your app store or whatever it is you've got on your phone, and you just type in audio recorder, right? And it's that one there at the top. That's the one that I use. It's a free audio recorder. It's a really good audio recorder for voice recording. So that's the one you want to download. So if everybody can download that now, then by the time we've finished doing the talk and answering the questions, it'll be downloaded and you'll be able to use it. It's very easy to use. If you can't download it, don't worry. You can still just speak it out loud without having it recorded. Or if you want to, you can write down the answers as well. So we can talk a little bit about that once we've finished doing the talk. If there's any more questions you've got on how that's going to work, we can talk about that at the end of doing the questions before we start the meditation. So everybody here is here to learn to channel. So the vast majority of the people here have never channeled before, or if you had, you've only channeled a little bit. Now, the thing is this with channeling, and this is one of the pitfalls I find with people when they channel in the beginning. A lot of people, before they actually start channeling, they have an idea of what they think channeling is and how channeling should be. So they put channeling into this category, and they're like, that's what channeling is, that's what it must feel like, so I'm going to learn to channel. And then what will happen is they'll actually start channeling, and because it's not the way that they thought it should be, they don't think they're channeling. So they disregard the stuff, the information that's coming, or whatever happens, they disregard it and they say, oh, I wasn't channeling, it was just my imagination or whatever. That's something you all need to sort of get out of the way right now. Be open to it happening in any way possible. Anything that happens, you have to just take it for what it is, because everybody channels differently. There's not one set way channeling. It's not that Ivan channels differently from me and Ade channels differently from me as well. And it's not that anybody's better than anybody else at channeling. Everybody just channels differently because we're all different people, and we all have different qualities to us, different skills to us, if you like. Or me, the way it works for me is I'm very empathic. That's the way I do it. I know Ade, she gets very much telepathic communication when she channels. She hears the voice in her head, but I don't hear a voice in my head when I do it. I feel the voice, I feel the answers, I can feel them. So sometimes I'll get a voice here and there, but it doesn't come like that for me all the time. But for Ade, it's like that most of the time. So she's a little bit different. It's a different process for her than it is for me. So and also with Ivan channels in a very different way as well. The way that I channel mostly just now is I'm channeling more like consciously. So what I'll do is the beings are like outside of me, and I'll keep them outside of me, and I'll talk to the beings. Well, the beings will basically talk to me, and then I'll relay the message. That's the way I prefer to do it. That's the way I like doing it. Sometimes I'll let them come in a bit more. But when I let them come in, I speak the way I like to speak. I don't let them say it the way they want to say it. I say it the way I want to say it. Now, Ade and Ivan, they do it very differently from me. When they do it, they have the being come in, the being just talks, and that's fine. If that's the way it's going to work for you, that's fine. The point I'm trying to make is don't think it has to be a certain way, or it has to feel a certain way, or this or that. Get all that out of the way to begin with. One thing to realise as well is channeling is far more subtle than you think it is. In the beginning, it's going to feel a lot more subtle than you think it is. Most people in the beginning think it's going to be a total takeover. They think they're going to have a being come inside them. They're going to start moving their arms around. They're going to get this big booming loud voice in their head, and that's what channel. But it's not like that. A lot of people think that they'll go away somewhere else, and they don't know what's happening. They can't hear anything. Then they'll come back at the end of it. Now, it works that way for some people. That's correct, but not all people it works like that for. And the vast majority of people in the beginning, that's not the way it's going to work for you. It's going to be far more subtle than that. You're going to think it's your imagination. Most people do. That's what happened to me in the beginning. I thought it was my imagination. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, trust that when you channel, you really do have to trust the information that comes. You can't be judgmental of it, and you can't pass it off as just your imagination or just that's no real. You can't do that when you're channeling. You have to really take what's coming and just deliver it. That's basically what you're doing when you're channeling. You're basically just taking whatever comes and just presenting it. Because sometimes you'll get stuff comes that makes no sense to you at all, but then you'll say it and it'll make perfect sense to the person that's getting it. Or maybe, see, you have to get all your preconceived notions of channeling out the way, and just be like, whatever happens, happens, and that's the way it's going to work for me. If you get into that sort of way of thinking, you'll channel much faster in the beginning than you will if you start thinking it has to be in a certain way. Now, channeling as well, it's not just one thing. Channeling's not just sitting and having an entity talk through you. Channeling's also, like Cheryl that's here, she channels in a completely different way from me. She does channel drawings. I can't do that at all, but that's her way of doing it, and that's the way it works for her. That's channeling also. Speaking languages is also a different way of channeling. So when you go through the process, when we go through the meditation at the end of it, if you feel that you want to speak languages, just speak the languages. Don't feel like it has to be, you have to be speaking English. If you just start, if it's going to be active, because this is more like an activation, is what we should really term it, as opposed to channeling. Because channeling, there's lots of different ways of channeling. Even when you're speaking the languages, you're going to be channeling. So it's more like it's going to activate something in you. Now, a lot of you will connect with beings. Not all of you will connect with beings. Some of you might just connect with it might just feel like an energy. Some of you might start doing, channeled writing. Some of you might start doing channel drawing. Some of you might start speaking languages. Some of you might start doing energy work, because energy work's channeling as well. You're channeling energy when you're doing energy work. So don't feel that it has to be that certain way as well. Just be open to whatever happens, and just go with the flow. That's a big important thing as well, is going with the flow, because basically when you're channeling, it's a flow energy. Like I'm talking to you just now, and basically I'm in like a partially channeled state just now, and you can see the way that I'm talking, it's flowing out of me. You can see it as well when even in a day you're channeling, it's totally flowing out of them, and that's what the channeling state is. The channeling state is where you're not thinking about what you've just said. You're just talking, you're just rattling on, and it's coming out, and then the next thing you're saying is coming out, and then the next thing, and you're not thinking about what you've just said. So that's why it's very good in the beginning when you channel, is to have somebody engaging with you, because it gets you out of being on your own. When somebody's asking you questions in the beginning, it's very good, because it's like you're listening to them, and you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just listening and answering and listening and answering. So that's why it's good in the beginning to actually be interacting with people. And I'd advise people to do that when they're learning in the beginning. Don't just do it on your own. Try and find a channeling buddy, or whatever you want to call it. Try and hook up with somebody that also that's learning to channel, or you can find somebody that's willing to ask questions for you. Be with people you're comfortable with, and then have them ask questions, and have them ask simple questions in the beginning, and it gets you into that. If you're starting to, one thing I'd also advise people to do, right, if you're starting to learn to channel, in the beginning when you're learning to channel, what I would advise people to do is to record your channelings. Try and record them as much as you can. Even if you're on your own, try and record them, because what you'll find you'll start doing in the beginning is you'll be so eager to remember the information, you'll put a lot of effort into trying to remember what you're saying, and you'll not be able to channel as well. So you want to be able to just like let go as much as you want, and just say it, and don't worry about having to remember it. Just say it, blah 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 blah, and then you can listen over the recording again. Most of the time you're going to remember it anyway, but it cancels that out. So I would advise people in the beginning, I would really advise people to try and record it if you can, if you're going to do it in that way, if it's going to be like speech channeling. So that's what I'd advise people to do strongly as well. A lot of people in the beginning, you'll feel energy coming over you, and your body will feel different. That's all right. It just takes a wee bit of getting used to that, but that's completely normal. Now, a big part of channeling, right? A big part of it, and this is like the key to channeling, and I'm still learning to do this, is to let go. The people who can trans-channel, they go into like Ivan, he can go into a very deep state of channeling, and the day as well. They're both very, very, very good channelers. The reason they can channel so well is because they can let go. They can let go a lot. The problem a lot of people have in the beginning with letting go is that they are afraid that if they let go, something's going to take over them. But that's not the case at all. I'll give you an example of what the avians told me once, because I was giving Claire advice on how to channel once, right? And I was channeling the avians at the time, and what they showed me this vision, right? And this is exactly what channeling's like. This will give you a perfect idea what it is. So there was a vision, and it was somebody driving a car, this man driving a car, and there was a kid sitting in the passenger seat next to him, right? So what he did, the kid wanted to drive the car for a while, so he took the kid, and he put the kid on his knee, and the kid took the steering wheel, but he was like, his hands were off the steering wheel, but he was ready to take the steering wheel, and he's still using the pedals, and the kid had a shot at driving the car, and then when he was finished, he took the kid off, and then he started driving again. And that's exactly what it's like when you channel. It's not a takeover. You're always there in control, and you can always just snap out of it like that. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You will always have control. You will always be able to snap out at it whenever you want to. If it ever felt dodgy or anything like that, boom, you could just stop it right away. And I've done that. If you look at some of my videos, you'll see me doing that when I channeled the insectoids, because it was difficult for me to do that because I've got phobia with insectoids. You can see I stopped them. I stopped it just like that. If you need to stop, you can just stop right away. You're always in control. So don't feel like it's a complete takeover, because that's not what's happening. It's not like that at all. It's more like having somebody sit on your knee and give them a wee shot of driving the car for a while and you're watching everything happening. It's far more like that. So one thing that a lot of people get scared of, that people find hard to let go of in the beginning as well, is because they're afraid that a negative entity is going to come and channel through them. Now, I can tell you right now, for starters, there's not going to be any negative entities going to come channel through any of you just now, because we've all got positive intentions here. That's a big thing, and Ade touched on that. It's a big thing as well. When you start channeling, when you go through the routine at the beginning, because everybody's going to develop their own routine. You can see Ade's got a different routine. I've got a different routine to them, and everybody has their own little routine that they do at the beginning. A good idea is to ask for protection, or to put some protective shield around you or something. It's a good way of doing it, and it's a good practice to get into in the beginning, because it gives you confidence. You feel comfortable and you feel safe when you're doing it, because in the beginning it's like walking into a room that you've never been into before and you've got no idea what's behind the door. That's what it feels like. But once you've done it a few times, once you've opened the door and had a peek through a few times, it feels fine. So if you can feel like Archangel Michael or somebody else is there to protect you as you walk through the door, then you're going to feel much more comfortable with stepping into that room fully. You're not going to be just peeking through the door, if you understand what I mean. So we'll do that at the beginning of this meditation. I'll get protection. But your intention, you have to understand as well. Your intention, when you go into a channeled state, your intention is what will attract a positive or a negative entity. If you're going into a channeling and thinking, right, I want to connect with something that's negative and that's got a negative perspective because I'm wanting to do that. I mean, I've nothing against people doing that if they want to go and do it, but if you've got that intention, that's what will happen. You'll connect with someone like that, because it's like you're putting out a calling card for them to come. That's what will happen. If you put out an intention like, I'm going to go into this channeling, it's going to be a positive channeling, that's what's going to happen. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. You can ask your guides and everybody. What I do at the beginning is I always ask for protection. I ask Archangel Michael and I ask all the positive entities that I have around me. I ask all of them for protection, and that's just the way I do it. You can do the same if you want to. I would advise everybody in the beginning to do that, because not so much because you've got bad intentions, because you've not got bad intentions. You've not got an intention to channel a negative entity, so it's not going to happen. It's more the fact that it's going to give you the confidence that nothing's going to happen, because it's like I say, in the beginning, that can be a scary thing that can hold people back from letting go. The letting go process is just that. It's a process that you have to go through. The more that you channel, the more you learn to let go, the more you learn to trust the beings that are coming through. And it's up to you as well when you channel, if you want to channel many different entities or if you want to just keep channeling the same entity. That is up to you. What I would say there is, and Ivan talked about this, is follow your excitement. Don't channel entities because you feel that other people want that. That's an entity that everybody wants to hear from. Don't do it in that way. Do it what resonates with you, because if you start doing it for what other people want, you're going to end up channeling entities that are not similar to your vibration. You want to channel an entity that's similar to your vibration, because it's easier for that entity to come channel through you, because it's on a similar vibration. It's easier to move through you. So that's what you want to do in the beginning. You want to find that what species are you interested in? You know what I mean? Or that's why a lot of people channel the higher selves in the beginning, because the higher self is very resonant with them. It's easy for you to do that. Or their guides, they're very in resonance with them. If you listen to your guides all your life without even realising that, it's easier for them to come through. But that's not to say it has to be them. You might want to channel it. Maybe you're interested in the Greys, or maybe you're interested in some other species of Pleiadians or something. That's who you want to channel. Or maybe you just want to leave it open and see who comes through. But what I would say is, do what you want to do. Don't do what other people are expecting you to do, or you think that other people would like you to do. Do channel entities that are exciting for you. there's another reason for that. One reason is because they're similar to your vibration. The other reason is because when you do things that are exciting for you, if you go into a channel and you're like, right, I'm going to channel for me, channeling the Greys in the beginning was really exciting for me. So I was like, right, I'm going to channel the Greys. So I wanted to channel the Greys in the beginning, and that's one of the first beings that I wanted to channel. So because I'm very connected to the Greys, I love them. I love them a lot. So there you go. It's exciting for me to do that, and I love them a lot. And those two things are putting you into a great channeling state, because the excitement is a high vibrational state. And love, you have to have love to connect with a being. You have to have a heart connection to connect with a being. And that's why it's very important also to have your heart chakras open when you do a channel. And always, 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 you want your heart chakra to be open. You want to make a heart connection with them. There's some beings that I've tried to connect with before, and I've struggled to connect with them. And then as soon as I opened up my heart, like going through the process, going into the channeling, as soon as I opened up my heart and felt how much I loved that being, boom, it was like an instant connection. They started talking straight through me. So you have to have a heart connection with the being. You have to love them. The heart, you speak through the heart a lot. There's a lot of information can flood through your heart that has to be there. So that's another thing I'd advise people to do in the beginning as well. If you want to, you can incorporate that into your technique, is opening your heart up. Huh? But I'd advise, there has to be a heart connection. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, don't channel who you're excited to channel. Don't do it because you feel that that's the right thing to do, or that's what and that's what other people want to hear, or anything like that. It's different if you're later on, when you get to a later stage, when you're channeling well. If somebody wants to talk to a particular entity, that's a different story. But in the beginning, channel who you want to channel. Channel who you feel is right, because this is something you're going to have to start doing, is going with your feelings a lot more. Channeling is very much like that for me anyway. It's very, very, very much about feeling, because that's how I do everything, is through my empathic abilities, because that's where my strongest ability is. So I do everything through my feeling. Now, there's going to be some of you, I can comment on this well, because this is the way I do it. So there's going to be some of you that are going to do it this way as well. So when you go into this channeling state, right, when we do the meditation, you get to the end, don't worry if you can't see the entity, because I can't see entities. I never see entities ever. But I could tell you what entities look like, and I could tell you where the entities are standing in this room right now, and I could tell you exactly which ones they are. And I could tell you what they do. I could tell you what they look like, but I can't see them, because I can feel everything. I can feel it when I start tapping out in my feelings. I can feel it. So there's some of you there that are going to do this, that are going to be exactly the same. Don't think that you have to see an entity. If I'm asking you a question, I'm saying, what do they look like? Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to actually see a form in front of you. You can feel what they look like. So that's a big thing as well. Get that out of your head as well, that you have to see it. Some people will. Some people will see an entity. Some people won't. Some people will just feel an energy. And they'll feel, oh, it's a Pleiadian, or they'll feel it's a reptilian, or whatever it is. It's a dragon or an elemental or whatever. Some people will just feel it. So don't think that you have to see the entity. And it's the same when they talk to you. If I'm asking you a question, are they giving you any messages? Don't try and hear it so much. Some of you as well, because that's the way it works for a day. And Ivan, they hear the entities talk in their head, but I don't get that. So don't worry if you don't hear something in your head. You can feel, are they talking to me? What are they saying? Oh, and it feels like that. You have to trust a lot to do that. You have to have a lot of trust to do that, and that's a big part of channeling in the beginning, is learning to trust yourself. You really have to trust that the information that's coming through is not from you, it's from somewhere else. Because it'll feel like you in the beginning. It's even now with me. It doesn't feel like somebody else per se. The messages come and it can feel like you, but you have to have for me now, I can tell the difference in the energy, but in the beginning you're not going to be able to tell that so much. But whatever you're feeling at the time, it'll feel like your own thoughts, but they're not your own thoughts, they're the being's thoughts. That's why it can be a little bit tricky in the beginning, because you're expecting it to feel very different. You're expecting it to feel like a separate being, because that's what you've had all your life. You've had people talk to you, you can tell that's them and this is you. But when you have them overlapped, it can be a little bit confusing. So really trust it. Whatever comes, just say, fuck it, man, I don't care. Whatever comes, I'm going to say it. And you have to have that attitude. You really do. You have to just be like, it doesn't matter what comes, I'm going to say it. Or it doesn't matter what I feel, that's right. and that's how you'll end up learning to channel. So, unless, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Ivan or Ade, just now before.
Yeah, I actually wanted to mention how you can raise your vibrations so you could channel. The way that I like to do it is I listen to toning. Some people like to do galactic language. I did have it, but I gravitate towards toning. That helps me a lot. I know that does not work for Ivan. It's different for everyone. So that's one thing that I wanted to add. And there was another, I just can't think of it right now. So I'll let Ivan or you continue on.
Yeah, because it's a good thing to do in the beginning. This is what I'm basically going to do with the meditation. It's a meditation to ground you. It will open up all the chakras and clean them, and we'll raise the vibration up, because it's a good thing. It's a good way in the beginning to do that. You'll find when you start practicing at home and stuff, what you'll do is you'll probably do maybe you'll do this technique as well, this meditation technique, but after a while you'll not be able to do as many, you'll not have to do as much. You'll be able to do a lot less, and the technique will shorten, so it's like you can see how fast Ivan goes into his channelings. Raising your vibration up in the beginning, though, is a good way, because you need to, they're high vibrational beings, so you need to step the vibration up so you can sort of reach them. They'll step theirs down, so you can you can meet somewhere in the middle. So that's basically what this meditation is going to be. But yeah, that's good. It's a good point that Dave's making there. Yeah, there's techniques that you can use to raise your vibration up. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Like, everybody's got very different ways of raising their vibration. I used to do it, I like doing it with meditation. Some people do it with dancing. You can do it by speaking languages. You can do, somebody's saying you can do it with laughter. Laughter's very good for raising your vibration. All these techniques. So you might want to get yourself into you might want to do a little routine before you start channeling. Do something, raise your vibration up, then sit down and get yourself into a sort of more channel state, and then connect. But you see, excitement's a very high vibration as well. So anything you do that's exciting is going to help you a lot. So that's how you know what's going to work for you. The exciting things are going to work for you.
Right, and also I wanted to add, when I do hear these beings, in the beginning I heard basically them speaking through a voice that I recognize, which is me. And then as I got more comfortable with my channelings, they allowed me to hear them, and sometimes I do see them. So I hear them just exactly how they sound. Everybody sounds differently. Lately, I have not been channeling aliens. I've been more in the spiritual realm, because that is where my vibration is at the moment. It is a perfect match for that. But with the aliens, they do have some interesting sounds. So don't let that scare you. And in the beginning, I was thinking, oh my God, am I going crazy? What is happening? But really, you're not. You're just raising your vibration, and you're discovering more of your gifts and your talents. So by putting fear into it, you're kind of closing doors on that. So it's really, really vital and important to be open. Be open to a lot of things. Doubting and fear is something that we all need to work on anyway, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to add, of course now I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, for toning, when I tone, it throws me way out. It's like I try to do what other channelers do, they make all these weird noises and then they connect it. I do that and I get nowhere. I just get irritated. But so quiet, like what Jim does, is very quiet, very just breathing. Breathing is very important too. Sometimes I don't even do that. You gotta breathe. Breathing is very important. And one thing when you start, what I've had is you'll have, might as well let you know, you'll have reptilians that are going to try and channel through you. Just letting you know, some are positive, some are middle ground on that. So that is a very strange experience with just that. And then they're going to try and force all the entities away and just let the reptilians come through. So that's just for, maybe that'll help somebody. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, see, it's quite interesting you're saying that, because what happened with me in the beginning when I first started channeling, right? The reptilians, I know the reptilians get like a bad reputation and stuff, but they're actually worked very well for me in the beginning when I channeled, because you got a lot of fears when you channel in the beginning. And the reptilian energy, right? Their energy is a very proud energy, and it's a very powerful energy, and it's a very fearless energy that they have. That's their thing. And if you can channel, well, what they did with me basically was I was in a room and there was about 8 people in the room, and they basically just jumped into me, and I couldn't really stop them, but it was class, they were positive, and I'd been channeling them already on my own, but they basically just jumped because they knew I had a theory channeling in front of people. So basically, what they did was they just got that out of the way right away, but they just jumped right into me when I was in a room, and there was like 8 people. I could have stopped it. I was stopping it, but then somebody in the room says to me, "I'll just let them come through." So I just let them come through, and then that was it. I didn't have the fear of channeling in front of people anymore. So they're really good for that in some ways. So yeah, don't. Nobody in this room has to worry that a negative entity is going to channel through you, because it's not going to happen. That we're going to put up, there's going to be the vibration in this room will be so high. All the people, because we're all going to connect as well, we're all going to shift the vibration very high. They're not going to be able to reach us there, so it's just not going to happen. If there's a positive, we've all got positive intentions, it's a positive meditation, so it's not going to happen unless you want it to. Unless you want that to happen, then it will happen for you. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is don't be worried that if the reptilians do come to channel through you, don't be worried that it's a bad thing. It can be a very, very positive thing. And Ade, she channeled the reptilians in the beginning as well. They helped her a lot, you know. So yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah, they are aggressive, but like in a loving, positive way. Like Ivan said, most likely they will try to connect with you first. They like to be first. And I just had to learn to create boundaries, because they will, like the one that I connected to, would even try to jump in while I'm already channeling another one. That happened. I was channeling a Zeta Gray, and then he jumped in and then pulled him out, and then like he ended up being channeled. So they don't mean it. They're not being negative. They get excited too. That's the thing. Just think of like kids just sitting by the TV waiting for it to turn on, and you're the TV, and then they see signals and they see a sign of it turning on, and all they want to do is just jump in, or so that's how I imagined it, and that's how it went down. If you are positive, you get positive outcomes. So just it's important to have boundaries around them, and I learned that very early on, because many of them were trying to channel through me at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they will do that sometimes. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so one other thing that I want to add, just one final thing I want to add, is something I'd recommend to everybody to do. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Some people, there's a couple of things actually. One thing I'll say is this. One thing that you might want to do as well. This is no like a must. I wouldn't say like that's what is going to help everybody. But if you want to do this, you can. You don't have to do it right now. But if you're practicing on your own or whatever, you might want to have crystals around. You might want to put crystals around you when you're channeling, and for some people that does help them. Some people it won't make any difference. It depends. Everybody's different, so it depends on who you are. And if that excites you though, if you feel like you want to do that, go for it. Get some crystals, put them around you. Yeah? I usually have a crystal on each side. I usually have one. I've got one here and one here. But I have a lot of crystals in my house anyway, so I have them around all the time. But yeah, that's what I would say. If you want to have crystals around, another thing that I would advise a lot of people to do, right? It's a good technique, and I know Ivan and Ade use this technique as well. I don't do it every time. Sometimes I forget, but you can. One thing I'd advise is that you ask God or Source or the Creator or One or whatever you want to call it. If you speak to it in the beginning, you just say, I wish for this channeling to be as clear as it can possibly be, and I wish for myself to be removed from this as much can possibly be, and thank them for doing it as well. You want to say a thank you for actually having done that, because it's when you ask for it, it's already happened. So you want to thank them as well. If you say thank you for it, but before it's even happened, it's like you're confirming that you know that's going to happen. So you jump into that reality already. So. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Ivan or Ade,
Nothing from my side.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
people do have questions. I don't know what order you want to go
Right,
in.
okay. Yeah, I've just asked. I don't really mind how it's done now. Um,
Okay,
right,
so
okay. You on you
I
go,
will
Dave.
read. I'll read the questions, and you guys can answer. Whoever wants to answer, or we can all answer. It doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
first one is from Terrence, and his question is, will your vibration dictate who comes through?
Your vibration will dictate how well you're going to channel. If you're at a very high vibration, you're going to channel well. If you're at a low vibration and you can't step your vibration up, you'll find it much harder to channel, and that goes for everybody. Even channelers, if a channeler's like feeling low, if there's something's happened in their life and they're not feeling that great, they'll not be able to channel as well as they could if they're feeling like everyone's working well for them. You know what I mean? If they say something bad had happened to them in their life, obviously they'll not be able to channel as well. So same idea.
I don't know, Ivan, do you want to say anything? Probably not. Okay.
No,
Is there?
no, it's okay.
I agree with Neil as well.
Yeah, you just want to keep your vibration up in the beginning. So any little thing, it's like that's why like Ada's saying like, oh yeah, if you drink a lot of water and if you eat foods and things like that, it works well for her. It's because that for her it helps her vibration to be higher. If she's drinking a lot of water, she feels like her vibration's higher. Well, it is affecting her vibration. It's making her higher. Now that's not to say that's the same for everybody, but that's why she's saying that's what works for her, and it might work for other people as well. So
Right.
all these little things, all are all things that add to that, you know.
Right, and plants, as well as nature, they do have messages for you, and you can get it in various ways. You can talk to them, and also by ingesting and eating these plants, you're also receiving messages, and you're raising your vibration at the same time. I find that is what works for me best, but again, it's totally different for everyone. So now I'll go on to the next one. It is from Chloe. Um, So she wants to simplify her question. She wants to know, what if the energies do not want to speak?
Yeah, that's interesting, that, because that happened to me in the beginning. I used to get that same thing that happened in the beginning when I first started learning to channel. Yeah, when the energies come in but they don't want to speak, it's just getting used to it. It's just what they did with me in the beginning was quite interesting because they were doing that in the beginning. I was speaking a bit, and sometimes they would come in and they wouldn't say anything, though. They would just come in and they would just sit in my body. And I think what they were doing was they were getting me used to feeling what they were like inside. Because when I channel, I feel it. I know as much now, which is quite interesting. But in the beginning, I used to feel them in my body a lot. I could feel their arms, I could feel their hands, their heads. I could feel it was like a holographic image of them had jumped inside my body, and that's how I could tell who I was channeling because I could feel what they were. And what they did once as well is like after about a few days of channeling, one day they just moved my arms around for like 20 minutes. They just moved my arms around for 20 minutes. I was like, what is going on? And then the next day, they just moved my head around. And I was like, what is going on? And then the day after that, I started channeling and I could move my arms and my head when I was channeling. And before I couldn't. So that's what they were doing. They were getting me used to it. So that's probably what they're doing, is they're probably just getting you used to feeling their energy in their body and in your body. So you're getting like climatized to them basically. Yeah, one other thing I should say as well, just remembered, what might happen in the beginning if you're getting telepathic messages, what I would strongly advise you to do, right, in the beginning, because you'll get the telepathic messages coming into your head. So say they're saying like, oh yeah, my name's Robert or whatever. What to do is just repeat whatever comes into your head. So if you get in your head it says, yes, my name's Robert, just say it loud, yes, my name's Robert. And then he'll be like, yes, I'm wearing a pair of red wellies. And you'll be like, yeah, I'm wearing a pair of red wellies. And just keep repeating what you're saying. Excuse me, what will happen after time is it will start overlapping, where something will just start coming out. Instead of you repeating it, it'll just come straight out. And then it'll start totally overlapping over some time. It'll start overlapping after you've done it for a while. So that's what I would say with that. But yeah, sorry. On you go. If you want to answer that as well, Ivan, a bit, we'll clearly say that you can jump in.
No, no. They're always talking. I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, sorry.
No, they're when they come through, they're always.
I don't know who's Somebody needs to mute. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're always going on and on. So, yeah. So yeah, when they come through, they always got something to say. Some they come and go, they say one thing and then leave, but other than that, and during the day they might challenge, right? They might connect to you but not say anything. So yeah, I do have that also when they don't say anything. That's during the day though, usually.
Yeah, same with me. They're just like Neil said, are trying to familiarize themselves to you, and so you get comfortable around them. For me, I know they're there because they'll just tell me who they are, but they won't say anything else. And then, like, once they are ready and they feel like I'm ready, our energies, our vibrations, to a certain level, then they'll start giving me the messages.
Yeah, because I can remember that in the beginning of the day. They were only saying a little bit to you, and a lot of it was energy stuff for you in the beginning, I remember. And they were
Yeah,
getting used to it. I remember that. They were like getting used to the energy.
You helped me out a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, you and I did a lot of practicing.
Yeah, it's like energy. Yeah. So in the beginning, if you do find that's happening, if it's just they're connecting you just energetically, that's fine. Just keep going, and you'll find that after a while the messages will start coming. One thing you can do if that happens, if something like that happens, you can ask them. You can actually ask them telepathically. Look, can you give me some messages? Or you can ask them, why are you not doing it, and you'll get the message. Sometimes I'll ask them to come into my body more. If I'm channeling, I'll be like, right, come into my body more so I can feel you, and they'll come in more. They'll make themselves a wee bit denser so I can actually feel what they feel like. You know what I mean? So I can feel them inside my body. So you can actually direct them as well when you're channeling them. You can give them directions, and they actually like it when you do that because you're engaging with them more. So because you're engaging with them more, you're connecting more with their energy. So you can give them little directions. So yeah, if that's happening, Chloe, you can always do that. You can ask them why are you not talking through me, or you can ask them like, can you talk through me? Like, can you start talking through me because I feel like I'm ready for that. So yeah, you can try doing that as well and see how that works for you.
Okay, so we have one more question, and then we can go to the meditation and the channeling. And I think she's going to ask it herself. It's Chris.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hi guys, thank you. When I start to do like a session with someone, I get it like energy consciousness that I just put into work, so kind of like you said, Neil. I also get telepathy, but there's something happens where when I translate the energy into words, I can remember it, but I can't hold on to the telepathic messages. It's like they go straight through me. So I actually end up just having to shut up the person that the guys are trying to give information to, because it's just they're bombarding me with so much information. I have to speak it at that moment in real time. And then they'll let me know to be quiet and that the other person is ready to ask another question. So it's a very different form. I don't know if you guys have experience, but I feel bad shutting someone up for like 20 minutes and just letting them talk, but that's the way like I work, and I've never heard anyone do this. So
from what I understand, like, well, what I've had happen with me is, I think this is similar to what you're talking about. So when I connect with the greys, like if I really connect, because I'm not telepathic, mostly it's empathically for me, but I can connect with them if I put concentration into it. I can connect with the greys that are around me. There's one type especially, and when they speak to me telepathically, telepathy works in two ways. There's one way it comes through your heart, and there's one way it comes through your third eye. And when it comes through your third eye, that's when you get the messages. That's when you hear the voices in your head. When it comes through your heart, that's the way I usually connect. You feel the messages. You just know. You just feel it, and it comes in huge concepts and things like that. Anyway, when I connect with these greys telepathically, like psychically, they talk so fast. It's incredibly fast they talk. And they're talking so fast, they're talking faster than it is for me to actually be able to process it in my brain. So I'm processing what they're saying, and they're already like, it's incredibly fast. Yeah. And what I do with them is I'll tell them, look, you've got to slow that right down for me. Either that or you take pauses, and they'll do it. So you can direct them on that, tell them like, look, you've got to slow that way down, or if you can't slow it down, just give me it in segments, then stop, then give me another segment and stop, so that I can process what you're giving me. Otherwise, it's going to be wasted. And they'll do it, or they should do. The ones that I've connected with do it. So
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different energies, and there's always like change. I call it changing of guards, because depending on what the client or person needs, like a whole different team will come in. Apparently, I have a huge team. I connect
yeah,
to Source and my higher self, along with all these other beings. So there's always like changeovers. But when it
yeah,
comes to when I get the telepathy, it's not words. That's why it goes straight through me. It's like that's just my one little hang up. The rest I can like hang on to, but like I get like just straight through me information. If I don't speak it, it's gone. It's kind of like if you get a flash of like like genius, like an invention, and if you don't write it
yeah,
down, it's gone. So
yeah.
and that's how they make. I say make me work, because it's just like the way I work. It's just so different, and
Yeah.
it's,
What you,
yeah,
what you can do as well is, if you've got clients, I do this sometimes when I've got clients, you get a notepad and a bit of paper, and if they're talking, if the client's talking to you and they're giving you information, just write it down in note form onto the sheet, and then you'll remember it when you look back over it. I do that sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
But
I write down what they say, but then I have like 3 different streams. Actually, that's what it is. It's like 3 different channels open at once. One might be telepathic. I have like
I've heard that.
channels open at once, and they're
Yeah.
literally, I could give like 300 different forms of information. It's just, I don't know. I think I just have to learn how to control it all and practice more or something like that. But
Yeah, you can sort of advise them, you can sort of tell them, like, look, you need to do this in a different way because it's not working the way it's working, you know what I mean? You can tell them, like, look, you have to change the way that you're giving it to me. You have to give it in either like a slowed down version, or you have to give it in like only through one channel at a time so I can process it, because otherwise it's wasted information. If they'll work it out, they'll be able to. Either that, or what you can do is you can assign, you can tell your guides, like, look, what I want to do is I want to assign, so there's only one guide that talks to me, and nobody else talks to me. It's only that one guide. All the rest of the guides talk to that guide, and that guide gives me the information, and you make sure it's a guide that you can understand very clearly.
yeah, okay. I was just they give me clairvoyance. They give me, I just have to, yeah, thank you. Because the way
Yeah,
you do
so
it is the
that'll give you.
closest to the way I do it, and I have a billion hundred channels, and they do include psychic abilities like clairvoyance and stuff. So there's so many different energy packages coming my way.
Yeah,
It's just something I have to practice. I'll let you guys go, but thank you, Neil. You helped me a lot.
yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
you're welcome. Hi. So I don't know if there's any more questions.
No, just go ahead and go into the guided meditation and the channeling,
All
and then we
right then.
can do Q&A after that.
Okay. So I'm not going to ask many questions at the end, okay? The questions that I'm going to ask, they're going to be very simple questions, and it's only maybe going to be 10 minutes, because you don't want to, in the beginning, I don't want to do far too much with you. If you find that you're getting, because we're doing it as a big group, it's obviously everybody channels differently. If you find that you start writing stuff down, you start writing stuff on a bit of paper instead, and you start doing automatic writing, just go with that. And if it's got nothing to do with the questions I'm asking, you can always just put it on mute and just go for it and start channeling that way. If you find you're drawing pictures and it's got nothing to do with the questions I'm asking, you can also put your computer on mute and just keep doing it and just channel for as long as you want to. That goes the same for anything. If you start doing energy work, if you start speaking languages, if you start channeling information that's got nothing to do with this, the question I'm asking, you can always turn your volume down and just go for it on your own, because that's the whole point of this. It doesn't have to be in a certain way. This is just, I'm giving you a guideline so that it's something you can work with. For some people, that won't happen. For some people, they might just start channeling information on their own without me asking the questions. That's fine. Just go with that. Just go with it. One thing about channeling is you don't want to be in resistance to what comes. Whatever comes, you want to just go with the flow. If you start, because channeling is like a pipe. Imagine yourself like a tube, like a hollow tube. and there's water flowing through it. Now the water's like the energy, right? If you stop that flow of energy, if it's like turning a tap off, and the information that's behind it, it can't come, because that information that's there at the tap, it can't come through. So the stuff that's further up the pipe's not going to come through either. So you just have to say whatever comes, and then it'll start the flow going again. So you don't want to doubt it. Doesn't matter how crazy it sounds, doesn't matter how ridiculous it sounds, it doesn't matter how far-fetched it is at all. Just say it, or just write it, or just do it. Keep the flow going is the key here, right? So what I'll do is, yeah. So if everybody's got that app on their phone, that's the way I would advise you to do it. So you want to download that app, voice recorder app, and the one that I showed you earlier. So all you want to do, you want to be on that page, you want to be on that setting there on the voice recorder. You just want to hit the record button when we first start doing the meditation. If you've not downloaded that yet, what you want to do is you want to go into your Google Play, or you want to go into your wherever you get your app store, or wherever you get your apps from. And just a moment, I'll show you it. You want to type in the search, you want to type in audio recorder. It's that one at the top there. It's that symbol, audio recorder. That's all it's called, audio recorder. You want to download that for free, and then you want to use that. You want to use that, or if you've got another one, you can use another one. You want to use that to record what you're going to be saying or what you're going to be doing. Now, the meditation will take about 20 minutes, like I said. If you feel like during the meditation that you connect with somebody halfway through, that's fine, just go for it. Anything that happens, just go with the flow, man. And if you want to as well, if you really want to connect with a specific entity, that's fine. You can intention that at the beginning. You can just intention, I want to connect with such and such. It doesn't have to be an alien. It can be a human. It can be anybody you want. It can be a higher self. It could be anybody. It could be a tree if you want to be a tree, right? Anything you want to connect with, you can connect with, but do something that you feel excited to connect with. You can just leave it open if you want and see who comes through. So there's going to be a lot of entities that are going to be assisting with this. There's going to be a lot of energies are going to be flowing to help you connect, and I'll be sending energies at the same time as I'm actually doing the meditation. So if you hear me heavy breathing, that's what's happening. I'm sending energy out to you as well. We'll do protection at the beginning as well, and we'll ground ourselves also. So this isn't the technique that I use when I channel. This is just a technique that I'm going to do with you to raise your vibration up. So this technique, you can listen back over this recording if you want to. There's also a recording on my YouTube channel of just this meditation. You can use that. It's just going to be the same one. If you want to adapt it to how you want to do it a different way, that's fine. Basically, what we're going to do is this. The meditation will start off, we'll ground ourselves. We'll put protection around ourselves. We'll open up our chakras, and we will clean all our chakras. Then we'll open up all our minor chakras. We will, and then we will start to raise our vibration up. Once we've raised our vibration up, we'll end up going into a white room at one point. There'll be a doorway, and behind this doorway is just an expansive light. This light is the light of all. It is the light that represents everything, everyone, and everything within creation. So you'll go into this light, you'll close the door behind you, and you'll just be surrounded eternally by this light. It goes on infinitely in all directions, and you'll blend with this light. And when you go into this doorway, that's where the connection is going to be made. Once you go through into this hallway, this expanse of light, that's where the connection is going to be made. Don't worry if it doesn't happen right away, and don't worry if it doesn't happen. Don't worry if there's nobody there. Like I said before, you might just feel, it might be that you'll feel it and not see it. It might be that you'll hear a voice. Don't worry if there's not a physical being there that you're seeing. Feel it. Feel if there's somebody there if you don't see anybody. So that's the point where it's going to happen. Then I'll start asking questions. So there's only going to be about 8 questions, something like that, and they're all simple questions. if I finish the questions and you feel like you want to keep communicating with the being, you can talk to the being telepathically yourself, and yeah, you can just put it on. You can just turn the volume down or whatever. So, right, I'll get started in just a second. Yeah, there's a lot of entities that are going to be helping with this. You've all got entities around you right now. The ones you're going to connect with are actually around you right now. I can feel it. So, okay, we'll start off now. So if you want to start recording on your phones now, just press the record button. Make sure you're on mute, and then we'll get started. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do before we go into the technique is we're going to set our intentions. So you can say this out loud if you like, or you can say it to yourself telepathically. It's up to yourself. So we are setting a clear intention for this session, for the channeling that we're all doing, to be in the most positive of intentions. We only wish to connect with positive beings who have our best interests at heart. We're asking for the assistance of all the positive beings we have around us, all the positive beings within creation who would like to assist, to the angels. We give our thanks to God, the Creator, the One, for the protection and for the assistance that He gives us during this meditation, for it to be a very clear connection with the beings which wish to connect with us, and for the outcomes to be of the most positive of vibrations. Now, if you imagine from the soles of your feet, the room that you're sitting on, from the soles of your feet, roots start to emerge from the soles of your feet. Now these roots, they start to work their way through the floor. If you're up on in a building that's multiple levels, you can imagine these roots, they start to work their way through the other floors. If you're on a ground floor, you can imagine the roots going straight down into the ground. Now, as these roots work their way down, penetrate into the ground, they start to work their way down deeper and deeper and deeper into Gaia. As they go deeper, start to work their way through all the different elements that are within Gaia, the different layers, rocks, sediment, sand, stones, crystals, all the different elements, the water, the gases, all the different metals. They're working their way down deeper and deeper and deeper. And as they keep working their way down, you can feel that in the centre of Gaia there's a red sphere, a big red sphere, a hot liquid magma. And you can feel this, you can feel the heat from it. And as these veins work their way down closer and closer to this big red sphere of energy, you feel the heat radiating up. Now the veins are getting the roots are getting very, very close to this red sphere now, and as they approach you a few meters away, you can feel the intense heat coming from it. Now, these roots, they start to penetrate into this red sphere, and as they do, you feel this instant connection with that red life force energy that's there. And this red energy, this deep red energy, You're going to allow it to start moving its way up through these roots, so that they start looking like veins. So as this red energy moves up, back up through Gaia, through all the layers, through all the sediment and the crystals, you can start to feel the heat on the soles of your feet as it's working its way up. This energy, this red, deep energy. Getting very close to the soles of your feet now, and you can feel the heat building. And as it comes up, it starts to penetrate into your feet. It starts to work its way into all the muscles, all the bones, turning all the bones red, turning all your skin red. It would turn any hairs red, toenails would be red. Your tendons would all be red. The pores on your skin, all are deep red. And as this energy works its way up your ankles and up your calves and your shins, you feel it melt away all the muscles, totally relaxing you. Letting the muscles fall away. Working its way into the cartilage of your knees, up your legs, up your thighs, into all the skin and the pores, into all the marrow deep inside your bones. Working its way up towards the pelvis. Flooding into your pelvis. Now, inside your pelvis, you can imagine there is a red sphere inside your pelvis. It's in there just floating, hovering, and it's a deep, deep red. Now, this is the root chakra. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I count down from 3, you're going to see a burst of energy coming out of this sphere. It'll look like a whirlwind or a hurricane shooting out the front and shooting out the back. It'll be red in colour also. And it'll turn the whole shade of the room that you're sitting in a shade of red also. Okay, so I'll count down from 3 now, and we'll open it up. So 3, 2, 1. Now, we're going to close this up again, so we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. So now that it's open, we're going to close it back down to a sphere. So we'll close it down to a sphere, and then we'll start pulling the dark or the black energy out of it. So you can close it down now. And you can start imagining that there's a red tube. And it's inserted from the top of your head all the way down. You can imagine it going through your spine if you want to, all the way down through your body, and it pierces into this red sphere. Now, on every in-breath, you want to suck out the darkness, suck out the dirt from this root chakra, from this red sphere. You want to suck it up the tube, and on every breath out, you want to spurt out the top of this tube, this black energy. Now, I'll allow this process to start beginning, so you can imagine sucking it up the tube, and then allow it to shoot out the top of your head, like a whale. So, the more you do this, the brighter you'll notice this red sphere becomes. The more the light will shine out of it. Okay, so you should see it now. It's looking much clearer, it's looking much fresher, and it feels much better. Now, we're going to go through this process with each of the other 6 chakras. So now you can focus your attention on your stomach chakra. So inside your stomach, there's an orange sphere, and they're hovering. Now we're going to open this chakra up, so it'll look like a big whirlwind of energy, shooting out the front and shooting out the back. Then we'll close it back down again. When it shoots out, the room turns orange. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, open. And I'll count back down and we can close it again. So 3, 2, 1, close. Now you can start drawing the dark energy up out of it, up through this tube, and allowing it to shoot out the top of your head on your out breaths. So breathe in, break it up, breathe out, and allow it to shoot out the top of your head. Feel the chakra becoming more positive every time you do this. And feel the chakra expand out. The light of it will be expanding out because it's getting brighter. You're removing all the dirt from it. So it's getting brighter each time you do this. And that's shining out. So you're becoming more expanded. Now we'll move our attention to the next chakra. This chakra is a yellow chakra. It's in your solar plexus, right in the center of your torso. So this yellow chakra, this yellow sphere of energy that's in there hovering, we'll open it up in the same way as before. So we'll count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1. We'll close it down again. So you can start drawing the dark energy up through this tube and shooting out through the top of your head. Let this chakra get brighter. Let it shine out and connect. Now we'll put our focus onto our chest area. So inside your chest, right in the centre of your chest, there's a green sphere of energy. Very beautiful, loving green. And we'll count down from 3 and we'll allow this energy to open up. We'll allow this chakra to open. And we'll allow it to, the green colour to radiate out into the room and change the vibration of the room. So 3, 2, 1. I will close it back down again. Now, start drawing this dark energy up through this tube. And breathing out and letting it shoot out the top of your head. So continue this. Breathing in, taking it up. Breathing out and allowing it to release. And feel how bright the chakra gets. Feel how bright your chest is now. And feel the difference in vibration that it's giving off. Now, we'll focus our attention on our throat. So right in the centre of your throat, there's a beautiful blue sphere. Light blue, like the sky. Now, on the count of 3, we'll open up this chakra as well. And you'll feel your vocal cords will open up completely, your neck, your voice box will completely relax. So, on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Feel how much freer you are when this is open. I will close it back down again. Now, you can draw the dark energy up out of this one and clean it. Breathe in, taking it up, and breathe out, allowing it to shoot out the top of your head, out into the cosmos to be reprocessed. Each time you do this, it'll get brighter, and you'll feel it expand within your neck. Very good. Now, next, we'll focus our attention on the third eye chakra. Now, this chakra as exactly in the center of your brain. So right in the center of your head, you can imagine there's a indigo sphere. It's a deep blue, a bluey purple, very deep colour. Right in the center of your head. As we open this one up, the energy will shoot through the point between your two eyebrows, so you may feel this very clearly. So we'll count down from 3 and we'll allow it to open up at the front and the back. So 3, 2, 1. Now as you see clearly into the room, it'll be an indigo shade. We'll close it back down again. So you start drawing the energy out of this one, the dark, unwanted energy. Let's suck it up. And shoot it out on the out breath. Sucking it up and out. Every time you do this, it's getting brighter and brighter within your head, like a beacon. Now, we'll focus our attention right on the tip of your head. Now, right on the tip of your head, you can imagine either it's balancing or it's half in, half out. There's a purple sphere. It's a royal purple, like the purple you would see on a crown. Now, this purple sphere, as we open this chakra, it won't open forwards and backwards. It opens up and down. So you'll feel it open up and you'll feel it open down within your body. This is a big gateway, this chakra. We'll count down from 3. I will allow it to open. So 3, 2, 1. Feel that connection you have now. We'll close it up. And you can imagine there's a straw or a tube gets inserted into this, and this dark energy gets sucked up out of it like a vacuum cleaner, or like a syringe if you like, sucking up this dark energy, the unwanted energy, and shooting it out at the top. Now, all your chakras are much, much cleaner now. So you should feel your energy is much lighter now. You feel much more free, much more fluid. So, we allow all our chakras to open up. We do this all simultaneously. If you were to look down upon your body, it would look like a great rainbow was shooting out the front and a great rainbow shooting out the back. Letting all these colours go out and changing the vibration of the room. Now, imagine, put your focus on the top of your head now, where your crown chakra is, and feel the top of your head open. Now you can use your imagination to how you would see your head open. You may want it to open up like a can, or you may want it to be opened up like a banana. You might want it to be opened up like a flower, or anything else that you can think of, whichever resonates with you the most. Allow it to open up and allow the colour to be purple as it opens up. So it would be a purple flower opening up. And as it opens up the top of your head, in from above pours a beautiful silvery white light. And this silvery white light, it is love itself, this light. It is the energy of pure love. Vibration pouring into the top of your head, straight into your body. Now you should feel this pour straight into your heart area, into your chest, and as it fills you up It penetrates down into your legs and out into your arms. And it allows you to feel lighter as it comes in, and clearer. Now we'll start opening up our minor chakras now. As this light comes in, starting at your feet, little speckles of light start to appear on your skin. Now, these will be like little stars on the surface of your skin. So, some are bigger than others, some much bigger than others. 2 big ones in the soles of your feet. And these stars shine out. A light shines out from them. Shining out down through the soles of your feet and up through the tops of your feet. You have little points on each one of your toes, several parts of your toes. And all over your feet, actually, there are little lights starting to ping on. Beautiful little lights, just like the stars. Allow these lights to start working their way up your ankles, up your calves, and they start pinging on all over the place. Some are bigger than others, some brighter than others. Working its way up your legs. These little stars appearing all over your skin, all over your knees, all over your legs, your thighs. Working their way up, hanging on all over your torso, your lower abdomen, shining out from within, because some of your organs have got these lights shining out from them, shining out through your skin, working its way up all over your body, your heart area. Your physical heart has many shining out from it and through your skin. All over your body, up your spine, sometimes in patterns. Working its way down your arms, they're pinging on. All the way down your wrists, they're all pinging on all over the place. Hundreds and thousands of these little lights. And in your hands, you'll see there are 2 big ones in the centre of your hands shining out forwards, shining out backwards. On each one of your fingers, you have several of these big lights. Many, many, many small ones in between. Up your neck, they're pinging on. Up your top of your spine, they're pinging on. All across your jaw, all across your face. From your temples, they're shining out bright. From all over your brain, they're shining out through your skull, through the top of your head, through the sides of your head, through your eyes. Now, feel how expansive you are. Feel how much lighter you feel now. And if you were to look down upon your body, you would look like a Christmas tree lighting up. Get that image in your mind. And see yourself, if you were to move, these lights would all move with you. It would look a little bit strange, but it would feel very, very light, very, very high vibrational you're feeling now. Now continue allowing this bright white light to pour into your body from above, into this big hole in the top of your head. Allow it to keep flowing in, and allow it to keep brightening these little lights, and allow your body to glow white as it pours into you. Now, feel how much lighter you're feeling as this light comes in. Feel how much more expansive you're feeling as this light's coming in. And recognize that you're actually expanding out. So if you were to feel the room around you, if you were to see the room around you that you're sitting in, your body would be getting bigger. You're noticing that it's getting bigger, you're moving out towards the walls, like you're being blown up like a balloon. Like a big hot air balloon, you're being blown up. As the light comes in, as you breathe in, the light comes in. And as you breathe out, you're expanding out. As you breathe in, it pours in through your head. And as it breathes out, you expand out even more. So now your hands would be touching the walls because you've expanded so much. And the seat would appear very small underneath you. Very similar to Alice in the Wonderland. Similar ideas. Allow the room to get smaller and yourself to get bigger, and keep this rhythm going all the time. As you breathe in, the light pours in, and as you breathe out, you expand out, becoming lighter and lighter, just like a balloon. So now as you've filled the room up, allow yourself to float up, because you know you're as light as a feather. There's no weight to you anymore. So you can move straight through the ceiling. And as you move through the ceiling and you move above your building, now you're looking down upon the roof of your building. As you're floating up higher, expanding out more, becoming brighter and brighter. The higher you get, the more of a view you're getting of the city or the town, the location that you've just came from. You're floating up higher. You're starting to see the neighbours' houses. You're starting to see the trees, the roads, and you're realising you're getting much bigger as well as you're moving up higher and higher and higher, becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. Now as you float up, you can see a vast area. You can see the vast expanse from this elevation you're at now. And you notice a little black dots moving past you. You're not sure what these are, but then when you look at them closer, you realise these little black dots are actually birds. These are the birds that are flying past you. That's how much more expanded you are now. And as you float up higher, you start to see the beautiful white, light, fluffy clouds above you. And you start to approach them, and you start to float up through them. As you float through these beautiful white clouds, you notice another little dot move past you now. What's this little dot this time? Moving in a straight line. As you look closer, you realise this is an aeroplane. This is how expanded you are now. This is the size that you have gotten yourself to. This is how light, how bright you are, how expansive you are. You allow yourself to float up higher. You see there's another blanket of clouds above you. Much brighter, these ones, much whiter. You float up, breathing in and expanding out. Breathing the love in and breathing out and expanding out. Floating up towards these beautiful white clouds. You start to work your way through these beautiful white clouds. And everything's turning very white, very, very, very light. Now you're above these clouds. It's very, very white, very beautiful where you are. Now, as you allow yourself to float up higher, you see that there's a platform, a very beautiful white crystalline platform. It can be any shape which you desire. And as you float over to this white platform, you see at the end of this white platform, there is a door. This door is white, very beautiful. Almost see-through. Now, you know that behind this door is a great white expanse of all that is. Great beautiful white energy. Now, as you float across this platform, for you don't need to walk anymore, because you're so light, you can float. So as you float closer to this door, you allow the door to start opening. Now as the door starts to creak open, a beautiful, incredible white light starts to burst through the creak in the door. You've never seen a light so beautiful in all your life. And as you push the door wider open, this white light floods out. You allow yourself to float straight through this doorway. The door closing behind you and into this expanse of infinite white light. Now, as this white light is shining on you, and you as a beautiful white light shining back upon it, you allow yourself to blend with this white light, to blend with the all that is, and become one with the all that is. You can say to yourself, I am one, I am all, I am. Now, I'm going to run through a series of questions. Allow the answers to flow freely to you, effortlessly. So now you're going to connect with a being. So, this being, how would you describe the feeling, the energy of this being which you are connecting with? In your own words, how would you describe the way they feel, their energy? What would you say are the characteristics of that energy? You can describe it by using colours as well. Now, would you say the entity, this being or this energy which you're connecting with, would you describe it as more of a male energy, or would you describe it as more of a female energy? Would you describe this being as a tall being or a short being? Or maybe you just feel them as an energy. Maybe they don't have any form. If the being has eyes, what colour of eyes does the being have? How would you describe the eyes? Are they glowing? Do they look crystalline? Do they look transparent? Do they look similar to eyes of a certain animal? What other things would you say about the appearance of this being? Is this being wearing clothing? If so, what clothes does this being have? Does this being have hair of any kind? If so, what is the hair like? What colours? Whereabout in their bodies? Do they have fingers? And if so, how many fingers do they have? What colour of skin do they have? Now, do you feel this entity has a connection to you? You may ask the entity if you wish, if they have a connection to you. And if so, you can ask them to describe to you what that connection is. You can ask the being where they are in their reality. Where are they? Are they on a ship? Are they on a planet? What are their surroundings like? Ask them to describe their surroundings to you. Does the being have any special messages which they want to give to you? Do they have a name which they would like to give? Do they have messages that they would like to give you to help you connect with them more? To assist you in your life, maybe? Now, I want you to remember this feeling, this vibration that you're in right now. Remember this feeling. And anytime you wish to reconnect, this feeling is all you have to do. You have to remember this feeling, just to know what it felt like. This will help you connect more fully with this being the next time. If you wish to continue the dialogue with this communication, you may do so. If you wish to end it here, you may do so also. If you wish to continue on, feel free to do so. So we'll have 5 minutes of silence to allow you to connect more fully with this entity. And then we will stop the meditation after that. Okay, thanks everybody. So, if anybody's got any questions about anything that happened, we'll open it up for questions now. If there's any questions anybody's got about anything that happened during the meditation. If there's no questions, then we can just we'll end the recording. So it's up to you if you want to share. Right, okay, so yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just end it here, and if anybody wants to talk when it goes off air, because a lot of people don't like sharing stuff when it's on live about experiences they have. So
I'll say something, Neil.
oh yeah, on you go, Chris.
Well, you didn't explain, I don't think, the entire meditation, but it reminds me of transcendental meditation and having an astral experience during a transcendental meditation. That's all I wanted to say. Astral projection, that is, while in meditation, because that happens to me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be similar to that. Yeah, this is a technique that I developed over some time when I used to use this to raise my vibration up, and I'd use this when I first started channeling to connect. But yeah, it's very close to. It could be used for astral projection as well. I could see that. Yeah, but you can use astral projection to connect to entities to channel. So yeah, so. What we're planning on doing is we'll be doing this workshop regularly, because there's going to start being a big influx of people who are going to be channeling this year, especially. There's going to be more this year than there's ever been before. It's like, I know there's always more each year, but this year there's like a spike in people who are going to start channeling, and it's because there's a lot of people are going to be waking up soon. And there has to be a lot of channelers to be able to accommodate these people that are waking up. So we've decided we're going to start doing this workshop regularly. How regular it's going to be, we're not quite sure yet. Maybe it'll be either every fortnight or every 3 weeks, maybe once a month. I'm not quite sure yet. We just have to see how it goes and see the responses that we get from people, how helpful it actually is. If people are channeling already and they need further advice, the way that we're doing it just now, we're going to develop this into something later. But if you're already channeling and you need further advice, like more specific advice, the way to do it is you'd be better booking a private session with either a day or Ivan or me. It depends on which way you go with whoever you resonate towards, because we all channel in different ways. So the person that you resonate towards is going to be the right person for you, because it's probably going to be similar to the way you channel. So yeah, if you need like very specific advice on things, or if you feel like you need to work with somebody one-on-one, you can do it that way, or you can find somebody you can pair up with in the community. You can find somebody that you can pair up with and you can channel together. It will develop into something. We're going to develop into something more. So it's going to be more like, yeah, we might develop into further classes for people that are a wee bit more advanced. But we're still coming up with that just now. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Ivan or Ade, before we finish it off.
Yeah, for those that want to learn channeling through me, like one-on-one, just message me contact me through my website. I haven't set up a session. It'll be like a $35 for 30 minutes or something like that. So for those that are interested, disclaimer: not everybody's ready for channeling, and there's no guarantees they'll be able to do it either. So there's that also. So that's all I have for that. If there's anybody else that has a question. And Adele, you want to add anything?
No, this is fine. I'm good.
Yeah, it's the same. If you need to get in touch with me for anything, like if you want to do it one-on-one, you can get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me, best doing it through my website, My website is Neil, N-E-I-L, Neil333.com. So it's Neil, the number 333.com. Yeah, so yeah, if you need to get in touch with me, you can do it through that way. So, like I said, we'll probably do this once every fortnight or something like that, and then I'll keep you posted with that, and when it's done, it'll be on Ivan's channel or it'll be on my channel. We'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, I can't commit on any future. I don't know what my schedule is going to be, so we'll see how. I might do a small channeling webinar for just a small groups and very short in the future, so see how it goes.
Yeah.
And there was a beeping noise as we were doing that meditation. I have no idea where that came from. Felt like it was it related. That's my feeling.
Really? I never heard that. Huh?
Yeah, I heard that. That was pretty loud.
Yeah. So
I don't know
sometimes.
if anybody else heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. I was recording and I screamed because it scared
Yeah,
me.
it was really loud.
I never
They
heard
probably
that.
got
Too.
excited.
And Hayden said, "Hey, Mama," because it was some speaker.
You never heard that, but there was a ton of energy coming through me, especially in my head. Like up here, there was like tons of energy.
Did you guys hear the dog bark?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, I
you
heard
hear
the
a
dog
dog bark? Okay.
I did connect to someone, and mainly there was conversation going on, so I kind of blocked any outside noise out, except for that beeping sound. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, it really was.
Broke through a lot of barriers there, but
It made me start laughing.
I'm glad it stopped. But
Yeah, I heard you. Oh, sorry.
oh no, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, right at the end, when it was like the last 5 minutes, Yeshua started talking, and he was saying stuff like, he was saying, yes, you're all my children, and things like that. I can't remember the whole thing he said, but it was Yeshua, and then it switched to God right at the very end, the last like maybe minute, it totally transferred to God. I can't tell how long it was, but it must be like about a minute, and it was just like totally connected to him, yeah. Just like tons of energy flowing through me.
Okay, probably should wrap it up. Yeah, does anybody want to do a blessing to head us out? Neil or anybody?
Yeah, I'll do a blessing. I'll do one in I'll do it in Syrian. Shio toro ko nayawata sete roso ko yutu no wayata ashayaka nesene nitianana rawata yao wulurutu ushata keyawasaya wa. Thank you.
Okay, if there's nobody else, we'll close her down. Thank you all for being here. We'll have future events similar to this. Not sure how it's going to go, but we'll get it together. There'll be for future announcements about how this is going to go. And we have a webinar, normal webinar, via Tuesday and Thursday, as far as I know. It's all good. So I haven't posted it yet, but going to for Tuesday. So. All right, blessings all. Thank you for joining us, and much love. Bye.
Much love.